Yeah, you're reading it right. He's out for the year. Now, I also wanted to say, before we dive into this entire commentary on the topic, that if you hear any lawnmowers, any leaf blowers outside my apata over here, then, hey, I apologize. They're kind of doing maintenance right now. It's Friday morning, so I'm very appreciative of the folks that keep my apata's walking space very clear and lovely, but it does provide with some pretty loud noises from time to time. So if you hear any buzzings, I apologize for that. I can't really control it, but it was just announced by the Montreal Canadiens about half an hour ago that forward Kirby Dach has underwent successful surgery to his right knee. The procedure was performed in Montreal by Dr. Thierry Pauillot, and a full recovery is expected before the start of next season. Folks, Kirby Dach is out for the year. And, for a lot of Canadiens fans, this is going to sting so badly. Not necessarily because I think a lot of us thought, the Canadiens are going to be a playoff team. They need Dach to be a second-line center in the playoffs and this and that. And we know they've won a bunch of games lately. The Four Nations face-off break has been very good for the Montreal Canadiens. We've seen guys step up after that. Caulfield, Slafkovsky, Suzuki, the guys are getting points. Hudson and Laine are getting points again. Owen Beck is a decent second-line center option at this point for the team. It's not like Kirby Dach is going to go out there and totally take away the Montreal Canadiens' Stanley Cup chances this year. Not that they had any, that's the point. But this is an experiment that I think a lot of Canadiens fans might just be done with at this point. And it's not even really Kirby Dach's fault. It's all just a matter of health. Let's go out there and see some of the replies I just dropped to my knees. Is this the same knee that he was operated on, or the other one? Some are saying the other one, some are saying the same one. I don't really know, really. We can figure that out later in this video. Everything is fine, and if you say you're concerned, you're a fake fan. I don't make the rules. Thanks for Frank Nazer. Okay, oh boy. That's really big. Chicago Blackhawks fan going out there and saying thanks for Frank Nazer, because of course the first round pick that the Canadiens sent over to Chicago to get Dach was the Frank Nazer pick. Here's Ivan Demidov. Ivan Demigod going out there and saying Kirby Dach's injury history, almost 3 full calendar years. I think this is a very important thing to go out there and acknowledge. So, December 29th, 2020 to March 27th, 2021. There's an injury here. Okay, wait. How is this timeline assorted? From until. Okay, that's what it is. So, Kirby Dach injured 3 months with a wrist injury in 2020 to 2021 March. He's also injured with another 5-month injury from May 2021 to September 2021. He then is out in January with an illness of 2022. He's out in March of 2022 with an illness. He is out from April 22 to September 22 with a shoulder injury for 5 months. He is then out with February's lower body injury in 2023 to March. Then he is out with another 5-month upper body injury, March 29th, 2023 to September 2023. Then he's got a knee injury from October 23 to September 24. That's almost a full year. And now he's got a lower body injury. It's a knee injury, knee surgery recovery from February 2025 until whenever. Almost 3 full calendar years if you add up all the months. 11 plus 1, that's 12, plus 5, that's 10, so that's 22 months, 3 months, so 25 months, plus another 5 months, 28 months. That is over 2 years. Yeah, almost 3 years, if you think about it. That is really, really unfortunate for a guy that was supposed to be labeled as the next Ryan Getzlaf, a guy that could be a 60, 65, 70-point 70-point center at the NHL level. Big guy with soft hands, a playmaking touch. Kirby Dach is 24 years old, so it's not like he is maxed out at the National Hockey League level just yet. But when you consider the pedigree, you consider the profile here, I mean, this is a guy that a lot of folks thought could have been that dude. He was a top 10 unanimously ranked pick in the 2019 draft. Probably went a little bit higher than most thought at third overall. There was always this idea going around that Chicago would potentially go with Alex Turcotte because they needed a center, a two-way center, and Turcotte was a Chicago dude. But they went with Kirby Dach instead, which was a really big deal, and I think we did make a reaction video in some capacity to that draft pick being made. But Kirby Dach, just a total monster in the WHL, a playmaking beast, a extraordinaire offensively, who eventually found himself in Chicago, but was dealing with a heck ton of injuries. This season, I mean, he played all right, 22 points in 57 games played. There was always this idea of, hey, the guy didn't play in hockey for most of 23-24. So if he's a little bit slow in this season, then it's okay because he's trying to get his feet back under him. He needs to get his knees moving again. He's got to get back into the swing of things, right? So we were willing to give Kirby Dach the pass for this season. And, you know, he didn't really produce as much as before. He had 38 points in 58 games played 2 seasons ago, so the same amount of games played, but a lot more points. But it was, of course, derailed by the season after where he was missing the entire year. So a lot of us were like, okay, we can give this guy a break. We're not going to be too hard on him when talking about him and his development. But, I mean, look, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. 2 years ago, he had this amount of points in 58 games, but he was a -2. This year, he was a -29. Kirby Dach was so inconsistent this season. You could chalk it up to the injury and the recovery, but now he's injured again. So what gives? Let's go out there and read some of the Montreal Canadiens fan sentiment on the RHAB subreddit. This is what Brandon Engie fan goes out there and says, I think it's time to pull the plug on this experiment. Kirby Dach can play the middle six as a winger, but relying on him to be 2C is dead. He just cannot stay healthy. Yakemchuk is dead, goes out there and says, I 100% agree. I want a new second-line center this summer via trade or free agency. We cannot afford to wait on Hage or hope for Michael Dach. Just trade him at this point. He has the tools, but the risk/reward trade-off at this point of the rebuild is not good enough. He probably has no value currently. That would make the trade worth it. I'd much rather keep him and see if he can find his legs as a big winger on the second or third line. Bingo. We can afford to keep him for his last year of the contract and then trade him in 2026 if he bounces back, or just let him to walk to unqualified or trade his RFA rights. Bro? What the heck happened? Man, this sucks so bad. Poor guy, I love Kirby, and I hate to say it, but he'll be gone too. Poor Kirby, his career will most likely end short. At this point, I don't really know if I disagree with that. He's so talented, and he had this amazing profile as a prospect, but health. That's it. Almost 3 calendar years of not being able to play hockey. I mean, that's really, really damning. We need to find another answer for second-line center. I love Dach, but he ain't it. Hopefully both knees will be equally solid now. Okay, same knee. Who knows, man, who knows. This sucks, but Beck has looked really good, so that's a positive. Beck is good, but he's not a 2C. We will need to look outside anyone in the current organization to fill this role. Hage could maybe be that guy in 5 years, but that doesn't help our current timeline. Time to find a real 2C. Dach can play out the next season, but unless he improves, we'll let him walk next summer. Unfortunately, I don't think we can count on him anymore to be the 2C. I do feel bad for him with the injuries he has had. I need Hage or Catton to step up to become that 2C. And to clarify, I mean long-term for those two. I do realize we need someone for next season. So, with all this in mind, the leaf blower lawnmower guy is getting a lot closer to my apartment window, so I'm going to end this video off here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Kirby Dach getting season-ending knee surgery and what this means to the Montreal Canadiens center core. What does this also mean for Kirby Dach and his future as a Hab? His contract expires next year, making $3.362 million a year. Does he get renewed? Does he get relied upon to be that second-line guy? And will the Canadiens go out there and try to get somebody else? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.